Hey soldiers, over here in America, we've got the Congress and the president saying, hey, we're only going to spend $4 trillion more dollars, okay, in the next couple of years. We're going to add to the debt, make it about $6 trillion, okay, by 2024. All right, it very well probably will end up being more than that, but that's the new agreement under the debt ceiling. And we actually have folk out there saying that, no problem.
There's no way on earth anything's going to happen to the U.S. dollar.
Okay, the dollar is strong. It's not going to turn. The Brics Bank and the Chinese and all that, other currencies backed by commodities, nothing to it. The dollar is strong, even though we're going to print up 4 trillion more of them and put them out there to do things like give to Ukraine. And I know, well, you don't know what you're talking about because all we're doing is giving equipment to Ukraine. We're giving military equipment to Ukraine, and then we have to actually spend money on backfilling that for our purposes. So, I mean, what do you think? This stuff is free? All right? But that's the mantra. That's the refrain of so many people. We're not actually giving them money. We're giving them equipment. Yeah, we're giving them billions of dollars of military equipment that has a cost associated with it. All right? We also see, as a result of this, okay, Kevin O'Leary is out there saying, oh, don't even worry about all of this Brics Bank stuff, de-dollarization. The dollar is strong. It's not going to be threatened by any of these other, would-be currencies that come out. Listen, there was a time when people said that with regard to the UK, all right? The sun never set on the British Empire. 1778, do you really think that the UK or the other world powers of the day were concerned about this little thing that just came up called the United States of America? All right. Oh, they'll never amount to much of anything. We lost the war, but we still control the world. Don't even sweat it. Okay. How the tables have turned, right? So we've got Saudi Arabia saying, look, this whole system is falling apart, man. This dollar hegemony, this dollar-based system, we got to diversify. We're not saying that we're going to drop all dollar-denominated investments. We're not saying that at all. But we are going to hedge our bets, and we're going to do what's best for our country, and that is decouple to an extent from the United States of America. Guys, go and hit the thumbs up. Vitally important. It helps the video be seen by many more people. You're helping grow the channel when you hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. Become a soldier of finance by enlisting. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know you did so in the comments. I will salute you. Also, take a look at that join button. You can join and become a member of the Soldiers of Finance Officers Club, where we're doing some deep dives in terms of how the stock market works. Okay, some other exclusive videos and content that we're producing over there. And when you go over there and see the price for that, the first thing you're going to say is, that's too low. Okay, people tend to associate value with higher prices, but we priced it at what we did, less than a cup of one iced latte per month. We did that because we want everybody to have an opportunity to be a part of it. Okay, so check it out. All right, Saudi Arabia reportedly in talks to join Brics Bank to enhance financial strength amid de-dollarization. The new development bank, also known as the Brics Bank, is in talks with Saudi Arabia on admitting the Middle Eastern nation as its 9th member, which would strengthen the new development bank's funding options amid the impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, according to media reports. In the Middle East, this is a quote, we attach great importance to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and we are currently engaged in a qualified dialogue with them, the new development bank said in a statement, per the report from the Financial Times. So see, we're over here battling about this debt. We're going to spend this $4 trillion more dollars, that whole kabuki theater on the debt ceiling. Oh, June 1st, everything's going to fall apart. That's just a deal between the media and the government to help the media sell ads. They're going to hype it up. Somebody said in a comment on another video, they said, Tyrone, are you doing things for the algorithm? Are you putting out content for the algorithm? I said, hey, take a look at my views and take a look at our subscribers. I think it's apparent that I don't do things for the algorithm, okay? But news media does things for the algorithm, all right? And being able to talk about impending doom coming on June 1st, okay, that sells a lot of ads, right? Keeps people tuned in, unfortunately. We did a video on not watching the news, okay? Check it out. I'll link to it in a minute. Let's see. The New Development Bank was established in 2015 to mobilize resources for infrastructure development and sustainable development projects in the Brics countries and other emerging economies, according to China's foreign ministry. The Brics, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, represent 25% of global GDP. They're the founding members, while the UAE, United Arab Emirates, Uruguay, Bangladesh, and Egypt were the first batch of new members of the New Development Bank. Since the New Development Bank's establishment, the bank has approved more than 90 projects with loans totaling $32 billion. This, guys, is growing economic influence. Now, if you're seeing 32 billion, and that's not a lot of money when you talk about countries, but you got to start somewhere, right? And it's also 30 billion that's not going through the IMF or the World Bank. Experts noted that Saudi Arabia's potential ascension to the New Development Bank will further enhance the capability of BRICS nations to hedge against risk amid the sweeping global wave of de-dollarization. So let me go back for a second. The World Bank and the IMF, that's the pretty much Western-controlled sovereign lending facilities, all right? And this New Development Bank is setting itself up to be a competition to that. The New Development Bank has a major role to prevent financial crises in BRICS countries and will be more efficient in crisis assistance. Pan Hyland, Joint Director of the Research Center for Digital Economics and Financial Innovation, affiliated with Zhejiang University International Business School, told the Global Times on Sunday. Pan added that Saudi Arabia is in stable financial condition with relatively small risk potential. So its inclusion in the New Development Bank would enhance the financial strength of the BRICS fund pool while elevating the nation's capability for crisis management and response. And the reason why they're saying that Saudi Arabia is in stable financial condition is because their wealth primarily, for now, they're trying to diversify it with their sovereign wealth fund. But for now, their wealth is built on oil. And ladies and gentlemen, oil is not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. The world is beginning to recognize that you cannot run the infrastructure that we have, let alone grow economies, on windmills and solar panels. Okay, there's a realization coming. It's really starting in Europe. America, as I always say, we can't even grasp things like chromosomes. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit longer for the idiocracy that we live in here in America to catch up. But you see Saudi Arabia being taken. Look, if oil was going away, Saudi Arabia wouldn't even be taken seriously. Okay, Warren Buffett wouldn't be buying more shares in Occidental Petroleum. Okay, but the smart money understands that there is the pie in the sky. Okay, we're going to run everything off of unicorn power. And then there is reality, cold, hard reality. And all of these people that talk all of this smack, like John Kerry, okay? John Kerry flies around in private jets. Barack Obama, he has two homes. One in Hawaii and one in Martha's Vineyard. Both seaside, homes. Do you think that man would really risk his family's safety if he thought that the sea level really was going to rise, okay, he would buy, him and Al Gore, because Al Gore has he has a seaside place too. They would buy property on the highest mountain in America, all right, if they really believed that the sea levels were going to rise. All right, the latest yield on new development bank bonds was 5.1%, 100 basis points higher than the likes of the World Bank, according to a report from Modern Diplomacy, which also noted that Saudi Arabia's potential inclusion in the new development bank will accelerate the economic diversification and development of the nation and reduce its dependence on Western blocs. Some developing economies are losing confidence in the U.S. dollar amid the dollar crisis, with de-dollarization becoming a consensus among developing countries, and they are seeking an alternative. Dong Dengzhen, director of the Finance and Securities Institute of the Wuhan University of Science and Technology, told the Global Times on Sunday. Saudi Arabia has been reportedly seeking to join Brics, which will be discussed by the members at the summit in August. Domestic outlet Guincha.cn reported. See, guys, I've had to go far afield and get news from overseas, okay, because the Western news outlets are controlled, lock, stock, and the major ones are controlled lock, stock, and barrel by corporations, all right? And with corporations, they don't want you to know certain things over here. So thank God for the internet, which has democratized our ability to gather information from other parts of the world. Back here in America, we had World News Tonight. I think they still have it. All the major networks. World News Tonight. And it was never world news unless the U.S. was involved in a war and they were reporting something coming out of the war zone. But our Americans have a particular type of myopic view, okay? And that's why a lot of people are missing what's going on with the dollar because they grew up with it, okay? The dollar is dominant and, you know, they're comfortable with it. Most Americans really don't know what the hell dollar hegemony is, all right? So it's going to be a hell of a shock to the system, and the news media, which should be giving you information about what is happening so that you can protect yourself, they're not interested in doing that. Zhu Ji, a professor at Fundam University, said that Saudi Arabia can start by applying to join the new development bank first before joining the Brics, adding that the new development bank has a strong will to expand its membership and the conditions in all aspects are relatively available. Now, so what they're saying is, look, you got to open an account here first, Saudi Arabia, and then we'll, you know, like the bank tells you, open an account, and then we'll talk about giving you the car loan, okay? This happens in a lot of small banks. So it's kind of analogous to that, sort of, kind of. China's foreign ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said in October 2022 that Brics leaders reached an important consensus on Brics expansion and expressed support for the discussion on the standards and procedures of the expansion at the 14th Brics Summit on June 23rd, 2022. And many countries expressed the desire to join Brics cooperation. Wang noted that China will work with other Brics members to jointly advance the expansion process so that more partners will join the Brics family. So Brics is growing, and that's going to be a direct competitor to the G7, okay, and all of the Western countries that thinks their stuff doesn't stink, okay. So the times, they are a-changing. Listen, I want you to take a look at this video here because it's talking about what Texas is doing in terms of trying to develop an alternative to the dollar, okay? This is very important because it shows you that even states here in the United States are starting to lose faith in the system, okay? And if states are losing faith, Texas, Tennessee, Alaska, and more, then what does that mean? Shouldn't it give you a signal? So watch that video, guys. I'll talk to you soon.